What's up, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Boots to Boots. I'm the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo.
And I am Steve Mack.
And today, we are celebrating our 3-year wedding anniversary.
3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
3 years. No, don't trick me.
It's 3 years. But we're also celebrating the 250th year of the United States Marine Corps.
How exciting.
It is very
Which
exciting.
one's more important to you?
Ours. Ours, babe. You know the answer to that.
Yeah. I mean, and we did not intentionally plan our wedding to be on the Marine Corps birthday. It just so happened to fall
perfectly on the Marine Corps birthday, which is the best thing ever.
No, I was so against November 10th because it was the Marine Corps birthday. And
it's the day before your dad's anniversary.
My dad's anniversary, my parents' wedding anniversary was, a week later. Like, there was just a lot going on. But we really didn't have very many options.
No, it worked out perfectly. I love it. Everybody got to get there. Granted, we had to fight a hurricane that day.
Yeah.
But it was good to have everybody there. And like I said, I've told people like the best part about our wedding was obviously the wedding day itself and marrying the love of my life and my best friend. But just to come out and walk down the aisle and see all walks of my life. And it was like the Marine Corps, my childhood friends, and then it's all the wrestling and family and everybody's there. And then here you come. I'm like, wow, this is just a surreal, perfect day.
Yeah, I was so happy that we could have, obviously Marcus is your best friend.
Marine.
He's a Marine.
Just
at
retired.
The time was still in the Marine Corps. He could be there as your groomsman. Then we have Dave, also your best friend, also still in the Marine Corps, in his dress blues. I was so happy that they could be there. But then we had a ton of other Marines that you served with who were guests at the wedding. And Marcus...
We had Miller, Chance, Beard.
Hayborn.
Or no, Beard didn't make it. Hayborn, Malinik, or not Malinik, Pollock. Sorry, I'm running through a Rolodex of people we did invite, but they didn't come. Pollock, Herrera. Just the list goes on.
No, I was so happy that they could all be there because it had been so long since you guys had all been in a room together.
Especially on the Marine Corps birthday.
Yeah, it was so special. And then on top of that, Marcus decided he was going to give a little Marine Corps speech.
Yeah.
And it was fun for me, but also I think my favorite part was watching my dad have fun with it. And so Marcus gives this speech, right? And is like, let's take a moment to recognize the men and women in the room. And you all sang the Marine Corps hymn. And
I think you posted that, didn't you?
I have a clip of it and I'll attach it. But watching my dad just like so mesmerized looking up at all of you was so fun for me.
Papa P. I enjoyed it just because that day, especially with your dad watching as I did our vows on camera, I thought I had the room to myself. And here I am just in a shirt, my underwear and socks, and I'm sitting in the chair. It's waist up, obviously, but for him to stand there and I'm having to do these vows, and it made me even more emotional reading my vows to you. And then he's crying in the background. I'm starting to cry. I'm just like, this is all in the feels. And it was just, it was a great day.
Yeah, it really was. It's funny.
A lot of beers and whiskey drank that day.
And moonshine. Yeah.
And moonshine.
It was funny because Desiree, who's my childhood best friend, was like, I have never seen you just so calm. Like, because I'm not a calm person.
Yes, you are.
But she's like, everything kind of went wrong. We got married in the middle of a Hurricane Nicole. And our makeup artist was late because we got married in the littlest town, Bluffton, South Carolina. So there's no Ubers.
Just outside of Paris Island.
There was no Ubers for the makeup artist to get to us. So she was an hour late. She had an eye infection. So her eyes were like swelling and pussy and gross. And then, so we started behind. Then it's raining. And the wedding coordinators come in and are like, we think we should do it inside. And I was like, I did not pay all this money to get married outside. I am getting married, I did not pay all of this money to get married inside. I'm getting married outside. As long as it is safe for my guests to be outside, I will be outside. And they were like, fuck.
Well, it made it more intimate, though, with everybody standing. And the rain kind of let up, too, as we were having to go down the aisle and do it as the ceremony was happening.
Yeah.
Which was great. And then I also loved that the first thing you said to me was like, there's no fucking rose petals on the floor.
Well,
where's all my flowers?
I said it to my dad as we're walking down the aisle. So when I planned it, we were going to have the grass, like the fake turf aisle. And then there would be like flower petals all on the sides. And then we were going to have these pretty white chairs. And so they come in the morning and they're like, we're not going to be able to have chairs. If you want to be outside, we cannot have chairs. And I was like, that's okay. As long as it is safe, my guests can, I can have a 2-minute ceremony. And I would be fine as long as I could be outside. And they were like, cool, no chairs. And then they open up the doors and my dad and I start to walk. And I'm like, there's no fucking flower petals. And I looked at him and I was like, this isn't what the fuck I paid for. And he was like, could you maybe just enjoy this moment?
Papa P's not wrong.
No, but it was the most beautiful day. Kid. It was the best way to celebrate our love, the Marine Corps birthday, all of the people in your life, and it was our nephew's birthday. And well, yeah, honestly. But
it was Everett's birthday.
It was Everett's birthday. It was the Marine Corps birthday. We had all walks of your life there. And I think it was like unintentionally more us than we planned for it to be.
It was great though.
Yeah. So happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. 3 years, babe.
3 years. So happy to celebrate with everyone.
Remember my birthday still? So there's been so many times where she'll rant, well, she used to. Now she has it down pat, but when we were first started dating and seeing each other, and my birthday for some reason she always thought was May 27th, May 28th, May 22nd. I'm like,
May 26th.
May 26th. It's always Memorial Day usually.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Memorial Day, we have also had a ton of really fun events.
We did.
Over the past few months. As Boots to Boots kicked off, we've done a lot of advocacy for Tunnel to Towers.
We did the Marine Corps Half Marathon.
We did the Marine Corps Half Marathon on Camp Lejeune.
That was cool. That was fun.
Your best friend retired from the Marine Corps. We did the 5K in New York City. But let's start at the Marine Corps Half Marathon. Because you and I both ran / walked.
We walked.
/ walked.
We walked. We jogged here or there, maybe a total of a mile. We jogged and we realized our pacing was a lot better walking than it was actually trying to run. And of course, Marcus and Nicole, they're very much runners. Nicole was very adamant of not being last. And we promised her we would be done within 3.5 hours, and we were.
Okay, but let's start at you and I both walking a half marathon on Camp Lejeune together.
Yes. Never thought in a million years we'd be doing that. Especially going around certain parts of base where I've never been to, which is actually pretty cool. We're seeing like the officer side of the world and like that whole road that we came down, and they had their like, almost like pergolas kind of in the front yard, but like everybody's there. They're cheering everybody on, passing out candy. The kids are out. They're just shaking hands, cheering everybody on to keep going and keep pushing themselves. And then what made it even better was then eventually towards the end going down A Street, which is where my barracks were, my chow hall was, my armory was, my motor pool was, and showing you kind of like my, like, in a sense, college years of my life, but in the Marine Corps. And to just also see the difference of what base looked like was, I don't know, it was really cool. And then at the end of it, made it even better. It was just sitting and drinking a few beers, walking around with my wife on base, and not a single person saying shit to me.
Yeah. I mean, did you ever think you'd be drinking a beer on base with your wife?
No. I think the last beer I had was the day I EAS. But even before that, best beer I ever had on that base was after my second deployment. And Chance and Beer both gave me an igloo cooler, one of the styrofoam ones, full of Guinnesses. They had it right off as soon as I got off the bus. I was more happy to have that than see my family that day. Don't ask me why. But that beer and just seeing them, because I knew their kids were born that day or during that time, because they went home on Advon. And it just meant a lot for me to see them as soon as I came off the bus.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was special for me too. Just, I feel like obviously you talk on this podcast, we talk so much about, you know, what Camp Lejeune meant to you and being there and living there and how much that's impacted your life. But I guess for me to be able to see it.
Yeah. And I also understand what a shitbag Marine looks like too. Having to explain to my wife what a shitbag is. And as a Marine, you take pride in what your uniform looks like, in your camis, your boots, how they're bloused, how everything's pressed. And a lot of times you have the natural crease down the center of your legs, same as in your sleeves and on your blouse. But like you look fit and you look good. You have a good in-regs haircut, Marcus, who just retired as a gunny and never had a haircut in regs, which blows my mind. But anyway, having a haircut in regs and just the way you walk and carry yourself. And there was a few Marines here there. I'm like, that's a shitbag. That's a shitbag. And then you finally caught them.
At the end, I'm like, oh, that's a shitbag.
Yes. Which made me laugh.
No, and it was fun too, because I feel like we have connected with that part of your life so much over the last few months. And also the people from that part of your life. And obviously Marcus and Nicole have been a part of our family for as long as, I've known them. 6-7 years now, but we've spent so much time with them, and to get to do that with them and then be around, their kids and who are, our nephews, all 4 of them, was really, really special to spend that weekend with them. But then we also went back up just a few weeks later because Marcus retired from the Marine Corps.
I know, we got to surprise him during my media tour in New York and then Boston. It worked out perfectly where originally I wasn't going to be able to make it. And then it so happened to where NXT didn't work out that Tuesday night. So it was kind of nice to get up there, and it made, I don't know, not missing something important in my life again, where I think in the past few years, you and I have kind of made that our goal, is to make sure we're there for our families, because we have missed so much in life.
Yeah, I think once we got married, that was kind of what was most important to me, was like, now we're newlyweds and we need to make time for each other. We need to make time for things that are important to us. But we've also now reached a peak where we are really, really successful in wrestling. And we can kind of say, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather be at my best friend's retirement, or I'd rather run a 5K.
Rather be home with my dogs.
Yes. And so it's a really nice feeling to be able to say, I've come to a point where I can put my career to one side and make my family and my friends a priority again.
I also think
it's been 13, 14 years since we've been able to do that.
If you've made it this far, you know these stories mean a lot to us. And if they mean something to you too, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Every like, comment, and subscription helps this community of boots grow a little bit bigger every week. So tell us what boots you're wearing right now, whether they're combat boots, wrestling boots, or work boots.
We're all walking our own path.
I just think that's the wrestling business now in general, though it's the lack of live events and more independent shows. And we can take those bookings, but luckily we're in a position in our careers where we're paid well enough on our salary that we can take care of ourselves and enjoy life, where we're not missing out on everything. And we get to spend the time together, even if we show up to towns early enough, like we did when we went to Salem for Bound for Glory, bringing mom, and just getting to have those trips. And it's I don't know, enjoying lives.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I didn't even think about Bound for Glory. We need to talk about that. You had the Marine Corps there with you.
I know.
And so I got to be backstage and watch it from that perspective. But walking out and seeing, all 20 of them in their dress blues, what was that feeling like? Because I also know that kind of style entrance has been a dream of yours for a long time.
Yes. Did it go 100% the way that I wanted it to?
No, those shitbag Marines.
No. So no, it was just fun, even from the beginning of the day, where we did rehearsals with the Marines when they came in, and they were local to the Boston recruiting area, and they were all stationed up in that way. So thank you guys again for your help in doing the entrance and just bringing more eyes on the Marine Corps in that area, especially with recruitment. And it's just helping out that way the best we can. And also just highlighting a part of my life that's important to me. And so having that day and rehearsals and trying to narrow down, do we want them to come all the way down the aisleway? Do we want them to come just halfway down the ramp? How do we want to do this? And we got it to where we wanted to, but I wanted the Marine Corps hymn sung.
Yeah.
Which I know you know the words to. No, you don't need to sing it now. But no, I wanted the Marine Corps hymn sung, and some of them were kind of hesitant to do them. All right, guys, don't worry about it. And then plus also with microphones, they said, hey, it might be hard to pick up. So no worries. It came out perfect the way I wanted it. Everything in our eyes, we always feel like it's never going to be the best, but to everybody else, they don't know. Mm-hmm. We only know.
Yeah.
So for us and for me to come out and have that moment, they're like, what are you going to do? I was like, don't know. I had just to open up Bound for Glory, having the Marine Corps come out with the color guard, and then my music hit in front of 8,000 people, just shy of 8,000 people, was really cool moment. I had the crowd hot, and then me and Frankie tore the house down, and my mom stole the show.
Queen Annie stole the show.
With the double birds. I loved it. It was such a cool moment to just see that too, because here I am, Frankie throws me into the stairs, and I'm on the ground hurting, selling. And I just see this all unfolding for the spot. And for me, that's top two. Well, obviously it's top up there now with us winning the world titles together. But for me, it was really cool because I'm like, wow, my mom is involved in this in my childhood dream. And it was, it was so cool. It was so fun to just watch.
Yeah.
Because here I am in the moment and I'm just sucked into it. And it was so cool to just see. And then my mom just throwing up the double birds. She killed it.
Queen Anne's timing was so perfect.
Cool. Yeah.
And she even said afterwards, she was like, to know that I did that. I controlled that reaction.
That's the power of wrestling.
And she felt it. And like, she's always been so supportive of you chasing after your dreams, but she doesn't like to watch you wrestle.
No.
And I think for her to like actually feel what we feel in those moments where that timing is perfect and the crowd reacts exactly how you want them to and expect them to, like, she was like, they ate it out of the palm of my hands. And I think she understands and maybe respects what we do just a little bit more because she got to be a part of it.
Yeah. No, it was a really cool moment, really good for one of those defining career moments for me where you always want money, fame, but like that's part of it. Like that's up there of feelings of anything like that. Just there's nothing better.
Yeah. No, I get it. Because
that's pro wrestling.
That's what happened when my dad was there
ringside.
For my AEW debut ringside. And I was already emotional because wrestling is, one of the only things that gets me emotional.
Oh, I don't? Oh, okay.
But there's my turn. I spin in the ring and there's my dad front row.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. I'm already fighting back tears and there's my dad's big head. It's the only thing I can see. But no, it was so special for me to watch your vision come to life. And I was so happy that I got to be there. Yes, your mom was there. Marcus was there. He had just retired. Plus to have those 1820 Marines come out and celebrate the Marine Corps birthday with you. Yeah. I think it was perfect.
It was already a month ago too.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Time does fly. You know what flew by was that 5K that we did in Tunnel Towers.
Fly by?
It flew by for me. That tunnel was long though. But once you came out that tunnel, and it was another emotional moment where you're doing this 5K, you're having this opening ceremony. Frank Siller's there, Dave Portnoy's there, and they have the color guard there. And then once they start the race, and we even watched the cadets from West Point go ahead of everybody. And that was even cool to see. And then Impa's sister was one of the cadets in there too, which was cool to meet her later on too. And then talk about machine guns. And it was, I don't know, I love talking about guns. It's just cool to just see like, no, yes, we love our guns.
No, I'm kidding.
But no, it's just cool to just see that other side of it. I'm like, ooh, maybe one day when we have a kid, a daughter or a boy, and we'll see if they go in the military. It's just, I get to live vicariously through them.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't be my first choice for my child.
I know.
One day, but if that's what they want.
I know. But anyway.
But it was really cool. It was really cool to, I think on Boots to Boots, we talk a lot about being a veteran and what the Marine Corps means to both of us. And also, with that comes a sense of patriotism, and with that comes a sense of pride of country and love of country. And I think that we both agreed coming out of that tunnel, it hit us both like, oh wow, like this is a perfect display of what we love about our country and what our country could be. And even more so for you, obviously, because you sacrificed and fought for it. And
I was running a good time at first, too. I was like, oh, wow, I'm actually feeling good. My legs are good. And I get out the tunnel and I was just like, oh, wow, I have to take this moment in and just soak it in. I just slowed down instantly. And then as soon as you come out, the amount of American flags, and then you have the FDNY, NYPD all lined up with the banners over around their necks of all the fallen with pictures of the fallen that have lost from 9/11 and then post as well. And I was like, holy shit, like this is, it's just an emotional punch to the chest. You're like, oh my God. And I kind of teared up that day too. And then as you're kind of going along and you're thinking, oh wow, this is the end of the run. It's not. But then like you have all these people motivating you. And then there's the Army, there's the Marine Corps, there's the Navy, the Air Force. Yeah. Everybody's lined up cheering you on.
Bagpipes and the water boats with the spouts.
Oh, the fire boats on the water where we thought the end was. And then you just come around that bend, and it just was one of the most beautiful sights I've seen. And it just, again, a sense of pride. And even that day when I did Fox News, you kind of went, oh, but like, no, I was like, it reassured me, like I said on the interview too, like with the pullout in Afghanistan. And that felt like kind of one of those slaps to the face of what I served and what I did. But then coming out that tunnel, it reminded me of what I fight for and what I fought for and what I still fight for.
Yeah, no. And gosh, like I was just surprised you said it, on the news, but
gotta be honest.
Those are your feelings. And during that time, during the pullout of Afghanistan, it was a really emotional time for you and a tough time in our relationship in terms of like, how do we get you through this? I literally can't watch the news anymore. But I needed to pull you out of this funk that it got you in. And so I think it's important for you to speak about it.
We're
given this platform and we have these voices. And if you're feeling that way, how many other, you know, veterans who served in Afghanistan are also feeling that way? And you need to be a voice for them if they can't be a voice for themselves.
And that was a good thing too at the time too, with group messages and us texting and talking on the phone. Everybody just kind of vented to each other, and that was where we needed each other. That's why we started this podcast in a way too, where it's an ear and a voice to vent to or listen to when you are in need. So that's the one good thing is vets take care of vets, just like wrestlers take care of wrestlers, teachers take care of teachers, friggin' podcast producers take care of podcast producers.
We love you, Chuck.
But it just, that's where you work together. And like that locker room that we talk about all the time, like that locker room atmosphere where it's in wrestling or it's at the Heroes Cup, where I got to witness that a bunch, where I got to be in the locker room with the Washington Capitol Warriors, and I got to coach them on the rink that time and be a part of the team for that day. And Tiki let me like coach on the defense and work the lines, but like to just see that camaraderie of veterans on a hockey team for me was really cool. I told them that day, I was like, guys, this is really freaking cool. We have no idea how lucky you are.
Yeah.
Just because you get to still have this. Not every vet gets that like atmosphere anymore.
Yeah, which is something we talked about in episode 1 or 2 of this podcast is, you know, the difference between wrestling and being a veteran is like our wrestling community comes together every weekend. The veteran community, it's very far and few between. You get to be with the people you served with. And I think that's why our wedding was so special. I think that's why all of these events that we've been lucky enough to go to over the last month or two have been so special, because we're like re-engaging with that community. For those of you listening that don't know, Steve and I got to participate in an event in October in New Jersey at the Ice Fall. It was a 12-team tournament to crown the Heroes Cup. And all of these teams got together. It's a benefit for Tunnel to Towers. Mm-hmm. And they all picked one NHL legend to also be on their team.
It was in the draft the night before, which we got to actually announce the draft order.
Yes, we did. Yeah. And so it was really fun for us to be a part of, because yes, we got to meet a lot of really cool people that you guys will meet very soon. But we also got to be a part of a new event for Tunnel to Towers and become family with Josh and Mike, who put on this event yearly. But Steve got to coach the Washington Capitol Warriors.
Got to drop the first puck.
Yeah. But the Warriors are a disabled veterans team.
Yes.
And what did it mean for you to kind of be a part of that and to join in with them?
It was cool just because Chuck even got to follow me in there and film me like as I got to give a pregame speech. And it was really cool to just kind of look at the atmosphere and like, I don't know, like they all listened to me, which is weird at first. I'm like, wow, I actually have people listening to me. I'm like, hey guys. And they're like, hey, we know who you are. I'm like, I don't know any of you. And I really appreciate you guys being a part of this. This means a lot to me, being with Tunnel to Towers, but also being part of Heroes Cup. And to be able to chat with a few vets at the bar last night, this is really fucking cool. For me, at least. I know the locker room has always been something special to me. Being in a platoon, being in a weapons company, I was a machine gunner.
Guns up!
Semper Kill. Didn't mean to be rude, but it was just my icebreaker that way to make them laugh. But that's just military guys being military guys. And then from the moment we left the locker room and went to the ice and sat on the bench, like it was just like they all had smiles on their face. They were enjoying playing. And Tiki runs a tight ship. I thought she was prior military, and you'll hear from her in a few episodes from now. Spoiler alert. But it was just, she runs a tight ship, and it was fun to see these line changes, and they were just treating it as if it was, obviously it's a professional sport, but they were treating it as if they were playing in the NHL.
Yeah. And that was so cool to see how serious they all had taken this. And I mean, Heroes Cup is huge, right? There's like lotteries to even get your team to be a part of it. So as we got to know Mike and Josh, who run the event, you know, they told us where they started and where we were at. This was year 3. And to know that there are so many teams that want to be a part of this, all the legends that want to be a part of it, and didn't want to get off the ice. We were running live boots to boots for the first time, asking for like whoever wants to come in, and all we need is 5-7 minutes of their time. But a lot of them were just, I just want to be on the ice. I just want to be in the ice, which is, it just speaks volumes to what Tunnel to Towers is doing and the people who are a part of it. And it's so nice to be in like-minded company.
It's just, it was a fun day just because you got to see the camaraderie in a hockey locker room the same it is for us when it's in the wrestling locker room. And then it's also just throw it back again to being in a military platoon, being in the Marine Corps and in the barracks and that lifestyle. And it's like, and like you said, they didn't want to come off the ice. They love the game. They're having fun. They feel young again and they're doing what they love. There's nothing on the line except bragging rights between the FDNY and NYPD at some point, which we have to get to that game.
Yeah.
We have to get to that game. But it was just really cool, especially like getting to chat with Darren McCarty and like just he loves pro wrestling, but he loves hockey. And we got the night before hanging out at the one bar and restaurant just to have some food. And we're in the van. Obviously, the driver went the wrong way, so we got a little bit extra time in the van to kind of just shoot the shit a little bit. But it was just cool to be around people that are like-minded and just, I don't know, it was for a good cause. And
yeah.
Tunnel to Towers lives to that slogan of let us do good. And that's what they did. It brought people together and it brought out, I forget what was the total number
they raised. I think it was just under $200,000.
That's great. For playing hockey.
Yeah, for playing hockey, but also for mortgages for first responders and for catastrophically injured veterans to have handicapped accessible homes. And I think that as we wrap up here, it's so important for us to be part of these things, but I think the community we're building while we're a part of these events is even more special to me.
Even the friendships we're making as well. And just with Josh and Mike, and like Mike's getting honored at the gala this year, which is really cool. I'm excited for you.
Yeah,
to possibly go to that.
Possibly go.
Depending on scheduling. Hopefully you get to go. I know I can't make it. I'll be in El Paso for TV. But no, it's just the friendships we made out of this and the possibilities of what we have coming in the future. I'm very excited for.
Yeah, I am too. And I think that as you know, our relationship grows with the foundation and here on Boots to Boots, the possibilities are endless to be a voice for sometimes the voiceless. And ultimately, I think that's always our goal, is to use our platform and the things that we're passionate about to do good for other people. And to know that we're making the slightest difference thus far in our journey. I thanked you a couple episodes ago, but I'm going to thank you again for giving this podcast a chance, because I know it wasn't the most ideal situation for you.
We're doing the damn thing.
We're doing the damn thing. We got our podcaster boots on, and I'm really proud of the work we've gotten to do the last few months.
Same. I'm like the kid in school that's coming to the group project and I just show up and you task me with what to do.
Always.
But hey,
on our wedding day and 3 years later.
It gets done. But no,
it gets done and it's good and it's fun. And I think it's really important for us as, you know, this is year 3 of our marriage, but, you know, we're finding projects outside of wrestling and what the rest of our lives are going to be together year 3 and beyond.
It's fun to like grow, but also know that I love to not say no to you and just take chances. So we have 3 years of that already. We have a podcast. We have the 3 dogs and just, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. I love you.
Love you too.
Kiss me. Well, guys, thanks for listening. We are so excited to have you here. And in upcoming episodes, we're going to dive more into Heroes Cup. We're going to introduce you to all the fun people we got to talk to and their stories, and what pair of boots they're wearing today. So
like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll be talking to you.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Please like, subscribe, and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boots to Boots. We'll be talking to you.
Addie, soldier.
It's where you go.